Okay, so Representative Jason Crow confronts Pete Hegseth's betrayal of values, and honestly, it's just stunning to watch a guy who actually wrote the manual on this stuff sit there and pretend he doesn't know the difference between the United States Army and a terrorist organization. He sat there, totally exposed as the hollow shell of the leader he used to be. It is one of the most devastating, brutal reality checks we have ever witnessed in these halls, because this goes far beyond a political disagreement. This is a moral indictment of a man who has traded his honor for a spot in the MAGA limelight. Let's watch the video from the past, and I'll give you my take at the end.
Recognizes the gentleman from Colorado, Mr. Crow.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Chairman Kane, Secretary Hegseth, and Mrs. McDonald. You're doing a great job today, Mrs. McDonald. Secretary Hegseth, we have a lot of things in common. In fact, our careers started the same way. We were both infantry officers. We were both platoon leaders. We both deployed our platoons to combat in a counterinsurgency environment. There are very few better leadership training grounds than that experience, and it's that experience that I want to transport us back into time, back to Lieutenant Hegseth and Lieutenant Crow. There are a lot of things that make a leader and that make a unit effective. Would you say that unit cohesion is important?
Unit cohesion amongst many is very important, yes, sir.
It's an important element. And part of that is making sure that all members of your unit felt included in that team, correct?
Far more important that every member of that unit felt capable to do the mission and united in that mission.
But that they were included and felt part of the team as well.
I wouldn't use the word inclusion, sir, but yes, they were cohering as a team, yes.
And that you reduce tension and infighting and points of tension between your platoon members so that you can focus on the mission. That was a part of the regular job.
Absolutely. That's why I've said that our diversity is our strength is the single dumbest phrase in military history.
And words are
our
important.
Unity is our strength. And
words,
so unity amongst members, despite differences of backgrounds, race, whatever that is.
And I agree with you on that.
Together on a mission.
And words, part of that is words are important and setting the tone is important, correct? When you're a leader.
All aspects of leadership, mostly leading by example.
Did you ever tell them your political affiliation?
Guidance.
Did you ever tell your platoon members your political affiliation?
We certainly discussed lots of topics, and I'm sure my political affiliation.
Did you ever ask them theirs?
No, their political affiliation was never a concern to me.
Because it's important that everybody feel included and that people weren't excluded, correct? That would be antithetical to leadership.
I'm sure my platoon contained Republicans, Democrats, and Independents, and I had no idea what their affiliation was.
Okay, that was actually my next question, so I appreciate you answering that. You led your unit in a counterinsurgency environment, and you interacted with civilians, correct?
Interacted with members of the civilian population in Iraq, sure.
Yep. And you were, in fact, a COIN instructor, a counterinsurgency instructor, correct?
In Afghanistan in 2011 and 2012, I was the senior counterinsurgency instructor.
And you signed off on a manual. There's actually a counterinsurgency manual that you signed off on and helped create. And your name is on that manual, correct?
We were a part of creating a lot of content at the COIN Academy, yes.
Do you remember this portion of the manual? It says, if you've killed 2 innocents, you've set yourself back more than you've moved forward. Do you still agree with that?
I would have to take a look at the manual, but obviously no one in warfare is seeking to kill innocents.
Okay. Because it's important to show why we're different from the enemy. Because we're not the enemy, right? We're different from our adversary. Would you agree with that? We have different morals and different values.
We are not the enemy, sir.
We have different morals and we have different values than the enemy.
We have a code, a uniform code of military justice.
So the answer to that is
inside
yes.
our formations that
you're not trying to compare us to Al-Qaeda and ISIS, are you? We're different.
I know the code of the United States military and army that I signed up for.
You can't tell me whether we're different?
Right hand.
You're not willing to say we're
different? Of
different?
course we're different.
Okay, thank you.
It's absurd.
That's why I'm trying to reconcile the fact that we learned many of the same lessons as platoon leaders about unit cohesion, making sure that people were included, that we didn't ask people's political affiliation, that we interacted respectfully with civilian populations, that what a leader says matters, that the tone you set matters, that we are not the enemy, that we are different from them, we lead differently, we have different morals. How can I reconcile that experience and those lessons learned from Lieutenant Hegseth to now Secretary Hegseth, where you say things like what you just saw here, making us equivalent on the same standards as our adversaries, doing the same things that ISIS and Al-Qaeda would do. How can you possibly reconcile that? I can't. And just the other day down at Fort Bragg in our beloved 82nd Airborne Division, sitting there while we politicize the military and pull our paratroopers into politics, booing elected officials, booing politicians with whom you disagree. It's antithetical to our values, and you, sir,
Gentlemen,
have changed.
time's expired. Chair.
I mean, look at this. Just look at it. You have two men who started in the exact same place, same dirt, same deployments, infantry officers, platoon leaders. That bond, that is supposed to mean something. It's supposed to be sacred. But then you have one of them who has just completely sold out. It's disgusting. It is visceral. You can feel the tension in that room because it's like watching a ghost. The ghost of the man Hegseth used to be is haunting him right there in the chair. And the hypocrisy, it is off the charts. It is suffocating to sit there and sneer at diversity, to call it the dumbest phrase in history, while pretending you care about unity. Give me a break. You simply cannot build a team when you are actively telling half your squad that they are the problem. It's leadership 101, and he knows it. That's the worst part. He knows it because he lived it. But then it gets dark. It gets really dark. Because when you are simply asked if we are better than the enemy, if we are morally different than ISIS or Al-Qaeda, and you hesitate, you dance around it, that is terrifying. That is a person who has lost the plot completely. We are talking about basic human values here. If you can't say, yes, we don't kill innocents because we are the good guys without checking your political talking points first, then you have no business, absolutely no business, leading our troops. And the manual, I mean, you literally signed your name to it. It's right there, black and white. If you kill innocents, you lose. People want to call that woke ideology? Wrong. That is war-fighting doctrine. It is how you win. And to see him sit there and act like he needs to check the text, it's insulting. It is insulting to every single soldier who actually follows the rules of engagement. It's the moral relativism of it all that makes you want to scream. This idea that because the other side is bad, we can be bad too, that we can just toss out the rule of law because it's convenient. That is exactly what the bad guys do. And he's sitting there normalizing it. He's making it sound like a strategy. You can't call that strategy. It is barbarism. And he used to know that. And then comes the photo, the rally, the cheering, the booing of elected officials while wearing the uniform, or using the military as a backdrop for a political stunt. It is antithetical to everything the Constitution stands for. You do not use the 82nd Airborne as props for your partisan grievances. You just don't do it. It is a betrayal of the oath. It's sad. It is profoundly sad because you realize that the man in that chair, he stopped being a leader a long time ago. Now, he's a mascot. He's a mascot for a movement that wants to burn down the institutions he swore to protect. And he's willing to drag the reputation of the U.S. Army through the mud just to please his political masters. We are less safe. We are undeniably less safe when the people at the top stop viewing the military as a shield for the Republic. To them, it is a weapon for their culture war. It's dangerous. It's un-American. And frankly, it is a disgrace to the uniform he used to wear. If you believe our military deserves leaders who actually honor the Constitution instead of a political party, hit that like button and subscribe. We are going to keep exposing these frauds every single day. I'll catch you in the next one.